Namaste friends. In the last week, I had given you pre-learning and post-learning tasks on WhatsApp regarding 3.3 stopping by woods on snowy evening. I hope you must have thought and completed pre-learning tasks. Let us start the warmer activities. First activity, chit chat. It is always pleasant to listen to your interactions face to face, but due to COVID-19 pandemic we are learning through videos. Here in these 5 bullet activities, no, the same answers are expected by everyone. Every individual student may think in different ways regarding these questions, and everyone's personal responses may differ. Let me demonstrate. The first bullet question is, where did you go for a picnic recently? My personal response to this bullet question: last time I went for picnic, not recently but a year ago, to a nearby hill. Second question, who all accompanied you? 2 of my friends accompanied me. Third bullet question, why did you select that picnic spot? I selected that picnic spot for experiencing tranquility and removing stress. That place is in fact not a picnic spot but a barren hill. It is too high, like a mountain range. There is no crowd at all. It's very peaceful place to meditate. What games, food, sights, etc. did you enjoy there? In fact, we were not supposed to play games and enjoy food there. We experienced a very good meditation and peace of mind. What did you feel when it was time to return home? In fact, we wanted to spend more time in meditation there, and we were unwilling to return home, but it was not possible. So, being satisfied with relaxation of mind, we returned home. The same page 101, warmer activity number 1. There's a picture or an image. Observe it carefully. So we were asked to frame questions. One is done. Where are the trekkers trekking? And 4 more questions are expected to be framed. What time of the day is it? What type of costume have they put on? What do they carry with them? Why do you think do they go for trekking? Warmer activity number 2. It was supposed to be done in a group of 4 to 6. As a group leader reads aloud the following lines, the students try to create a picture in his or her mind. Later, each one gives a heading for each description. The description is: bright blue sky, soft white clouds sweeping by, tiny specks of birds flying high, sun playing hide and seek behind the clouds. And we are asked to give the heading. So the heading is pleasant beauty of the sky. Pleasant beauty of the sky. Second description: miles of smooth barren land, sparkling sand stretched till the horizon. In wave-like forms, thorny cacti propping here and there, An occasional cluster of palms provide a shady spot, a caravan of camels moving in a line in the distance. The heading for this description is Life in the Desert. Very important definition is given here. A figurative description creating a mental picture in the reader's or listener's mind is called an imagery. I repeat again, a figurative description creating a mental picture in a reader's or listener's mind is called an imagery. If you remember, you had learnt a poem by Sarojini Naidu in standard 8th. The name of the poem, title of the poem was Palanquin Bearers. If you remember that poem, Palanquin Bearers. Lightly, oh lightly, we bear her along. She sways like a flower in the wind of our song. She skims like a bird on the foam of a stream. She floats like laugh from the lips of a dream. Gaily, oh gaily, we glide and we sing. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. So it's a striking imagery. It creates, as we read such poem, the mental picture based on the description, the depicted things in the poem are visualized. So this is an imaginary picture and we call it imagery. It's a poetic device that enhances the poem. Here the last activity in warmer is, again it was supposed to be done in group. Compose your own 4 to 6 line poem containing imagery. So I have tried, in fact I have shared it with you day before yesterday on WhatsApp, and I had asked you to guess to which activity these lines relate to on page number 101. Now you must have understood the lines I composed. I tried to compose. O Mother Nature, O Mother Nature, your hot deserts and frozen glaciers, valleys occupied with orchards and barren plateaus, densely thick forests and naked mountains, vines on you often bloomed with colorful flowers, thorns of cacti and babul trees, your caretakers and your killers. I wonder of your beauty and endurance. So, I have tried to highlight few images that are visualized while reading these lines. Frozen glaciers, deserts, orchards, barren plateaus, densely thick forests and naked mountains, colorful flowers, cacti, babul trees. So these are the things, as we read, they are visualized. So this is called imagery, and this is imagery, and it is really a very good device to enhance the poem. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening. This poem has been composed, written by Robert Lee Frost. He was born in 1874 and passed away in 1963. He was an American poet. He is highly regarded for his realistic depictions of rural life and his command of American colloquial speech. He is one of the most popular and critically respected American poets of the 20th century. He received 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. In this poem, the poet describes a little incident happening in a snowy evening. As a traveler, the poet is fascinated by the beautiful scenes in the woods. He stops to enjoy, but his mind urges him to go on. Let us listen to the poem. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though he will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year, he gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Robert Frost. Friends, now may I request you to open your English course book and to read the poem on page number 102. After reading the poem, list all the new expressions and new words in this poem, refer dictionary, think on the expressions, their contextual meanings, try to list it in your notebook, and very soon in the next video we will paraphrase the poem. Thank you.